Hey everyone, we're here with Nico, and he just won our local skirmish. Go ahead, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my name's Nicholas. I'm here representing an Irelia deck, and as Rodney mentioned, I just managed to take TC Skirmish on Saturday.
And you've been playing Aurelia for the past 2 sets now, right?
Yep.
What do you think? What do you think about her?
I think she's an incredibly strong deck. I appreciate the fact that you can use her like a toolbox. I know there's other decks that utilize like Starcross a lot more effective, or even sometimes Vex a lot more effective, but the fact that she can still make them work is really helpful in a lot of matchups. And then I'm also a big fan of the Protect the President strategy of just slapping the equipment or holding up spells to protect Irelia herself.
Nice. And what did you play against during the skirmish?
So round one, I got a bye because there was only 9 people that showed up. But round two, I ended up being in Azir, which I thought was a pretty tough matchup, but managed to pull through, which we'll get into my side deck later, but one of the cards really came in helpful. So round two was Azir. Round three, I won a mirror against the Killins, which was fun. There was a little bit of
That was a mirror match,
philosophy,
right?
yeah.
Mirror match.
Different philosophies when it comes to our deck, and I think that little gave me a little edge in game three. And then round four, it was into Victor, which was also a very scary matchup, but I think having a very more unit-heavy Irelia deck helped me squeeze that out.
Nice. And then was that the top 4 match?
There was no top four.
Oh, no,
It was just,
okay,
it was
gotcha.
just 4 rounds. Since
Sounds
it's only
good.
people.
All right, we got to get to the deck profile now.
Okay. So in terms of deck spells, I think is pretty cookie cutter. I think the only difference I might have compared to most Irelia lists is only 2 on guards. I really like having 3, but I really wanted to squeeze in some stacked decks. I think this helps with consistency and also seeing some of the side tech cards that we'll get into later. So I really wanted to squeeze these in just because it helps your deck be more consistent going into Auroras or things like Azir, where you're like really trying to see one card to prepare for their big turns. One other neat thing too is I run 2 Gusts. I know some people like to keep their Gusts in the side deck. I like them in main deck. I think it helps a lot in the Diana matchup and Irelia matchup, because you kind of just like let them think, oh, we're gonna have these big long chains with stupefies and on guards and disciplines, and then at the last second you're just like Gust to either bounce their unit back to hand, or if you're like, oh, I'm so cooked because we're like on Abandoned Hall, then you Gust your Stellacorn Herder back to hand. So that's a little neat thing. And then no flash. That was something I was a little worried about not including, just because I feel like Elder Dragon warrants so much respect. But I think having 2 Ride the Winds is more important in the meta, because trying to get your Adaptatrons in for Conquer to kill certain gears is more important than just trying to play defensively at the moment. It's also really nice with Stellacorn Herder and just getting that double draw. But yeah, so that's the spells. For gear, this is a little controversial. I only played 1 Boots, and the thought process behind that is I have a lot of movement cards already between having the 2 Ride the Winds, the 3 Tideturners, and 1 Boots. So I didn't think I necessarily need the second. The extra might is really nice to have, but a lot of times, because so many people are main gearing hate, whether it's acceptable losses or salvage, it feels like you set yourself back, whether you try playing this like turn 2 to develop or later in the game. It feels a little clunky. So decided to just rely on, if I really need the boots, I hopefully can stack deck it, or I can draw to them using the Scuttles and the Stellacorn Herders. So that's gear. And then units, I have a lot of units. One of the more spicier units is Teemo. This Teemo, I like to use him into the Yi matchup, because on play he's basically 4 might, and then you just accelerate him in with a discipline, and if the Yi tapped out thinking they're safe that turn, you can punish them pretty easily with that, with just 6 might swinging in. It's also nice to hide and just surprise people, hey, here's 4 might, deal with it. It's also just nice having extra body in those yellow matchups, whether it's Azir or Victor, because a lot of times you just need something that's going to help you dodge a Call the Weak. Like you
Yeah.
tap out, you put in
just bring it up,
Irelia,
yeah.
then you just play it in response to the Cool of the Week. So I like that. Why I played him over the Pyke though is just literally I feel like there's so many situations where I'm like tight on runes and it's like, okay, I need to star-cross this problem because I don't have enough resources to deal with it right now, but I don't necessarily have 3 energy to play the Pyke and then bounce it and then still play the unit and try to go in for a conquer. And so Teemo sometimes lets me sneak some wins where I'm just like, okay, 2 Teemo, Starcross, I still have 2 energy to play him and then throw like an En Garde down to
And
rush
push
into
it,
battle.
yeah. That's actually pretty. I didn't think about it like that. That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
So just a nice little thing to just catch people off guard and help me in some pinches. The only other controversial thing, I opted to go down to 2 Stellacorn Herders. Right now it feels pretty oppressive where a lot of people will sit on battlefields, not necessarily holding, but they just threaten you moving your Stellacorn Herder in and punish you for moving her
the
in.
take back.
Yeah, so a lot of times it does not feel great to have like 2 Stellacorn Herders in hand. Obviously, you still want to see her as much as possible, and that's why I also have these stacked decks, is because she will win you games just by outdrawing your opponent. But I really like to play a little bit more control-y with the 2 Vex to like bridge the sort of mid game to late game where I'm like, okay, I've secured this battlefield. I know I'm not going to get rushed in. Now I can develop my Stellacorn Herder mover, start getting these draws going. I also really love just taxing my opponents using the deflect off Vex. There's a notorious discard Ezreal going around here
Yeah.
that loves to just deadly flourish your 4-drops, and so at least with Vex, she's 1 more might. She has that deflect, so usually they have to commit a Stupefy and a Deadly Flourish. So you're just taxing them. So I really enjoy that. And then also you can play her instead of Irelia and still have a rune up if you're going second. So then you like think, oh yeah, you're gonna kill him. Actually Defy, and it's just really nice to sort of tax your opponent using that. Yeah, so
Before you get sideboard, what's your order for the battlefield?
order for battlefield. So I know a lot of people like to open Abandon Hall, but I really prefer Rockfall first. The rationale for that is I really love to abuse Abandon Hall, and there's some times where you're going first if you win the die roll, and you don't necessarily get to abuse it as much as you can when you're going second, because having that extra energy makes a big difference. So I love to save this specifically for when I know I'm going second. So usually I just open Rockfall. It's also nice because you protect yourself from getting
Yeah,
vexed.
that's what I've been telling everyone. I think Abandon Hall is perfect for is a going second battlefield and not a going first battlefield. But that's a different story.
Yeah.
Go ahead, continue.
No, yeah, I completely agree with that philosophy. So, yeah, just Rockfall, you know it's going to be neutral. You protect yourself from Vex locks. You protect yourself from Vi ambushes into the yellow matchup. So
The Rain
it's just
Guard.
nice. Yeah, Rain Guards too. Yep. So I open with that, and then if I lose, then we obviously go to Targons where we want to do that. But then if we win, we try to just end the set with Abandon Hall,
Abandon
abuse
Hall,
it,
yeah.
because we have that extra energy going second, and it's just really fun.
Yeah. It's easier to push in with Irelia too,
Yep.
with all your stuff up.
Yes.
So you have more triggers.
Yeah, not just only Irelia, but also Scuttle Crab too. It's funny
Yeah.
sometimes. People think they don't respect like, oh, it's just a 0 might, but then all of a sudden you play a Discipline or En Garde here and he's 3 might. Yeah.
You can get to your sideboard now.
Yeah, so sideboard. This is a San Diego special sideboard. We have a lot of yellow players around here. Not only do we have like Azirs and Victors, but we also have a lot of Auroras that play the yellow variant. So I've been
It's a
having
lot of Rek'Sai too.
Yes, a lot of Rek'Sai too. And so there's just these boards that go very wide, whether it's with Vanguard armor, just a bunch of 2-drops. And so I really love this guy right now.
That's good.
Even in the Azir, it's kind of funny because they get like a false sense of security, like, oh, I have my gear equipped. But when you pair it with the Adaptrons, you just usually
You
get
just clear the whole board.
you just clear the whole board at once, and then they're just like, how do I redevelop? So that's the San Diego special right there. This is mainly for Yi. I think that's a matchup I struggle with a lot. And so it's just me trying to leverage that. I know they're probably also only playing one not so fast. So rather than trying to gamble with a Star-Cross hitting without the Defy, which again is very rare because not only do they have Defies, but they have Sabotages, which basically act as another pair of Defies. This is the card that I try to use for that matchup. At least if they punch first, we know we're both trading 2 runes each other. Other than that, a third copy of Star-Cross, just because I respect Elder so much, very scary. And then Gust. Aside from the mirror match and Diana, I also kind of like Gust into Victor. It's fun for the Imperial Decree turns when you're just like, Gust.
It's also good against LeBlanc too.
Yeah, LeBlanc too, yep. Although we haven't had too many LeBlancs these days. So yeah.
Any other comments on the deck? Do you see yourself playing it for set 4?
I think I do. I kind of want to branch out and try other colors, but between that new purple unit that lets you kill gear whenever you want, and the that new green 1 cost that lets your unit be immune to spells for the turn.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of hard to leave this deck behind. I think it still has plenty of good potential going into set 4, but I really do think Ambessa looks particularly interesting. It has that same aggressive, like, just ready unit and push in that I like with Irelia, but I think orange is really busted.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially with that new combat trick that you can play with Flow that gives like +6 smite. I think that's...
Oh yeah. There's a new Primal Strength too. Where it's like,
Yeah, so I think orange is really busted. It'd be interesting to try that out. But maybe just before the meta calms down, I'll probably stick with Irelia for a little stability.
Sounds good. Any shout outs, Nico?
Shout out to my coaches, Cloud and Cloud and David and Will, all those guys for helping me practice so much, whether it's on Rift Atlas or paper. Love those guys to death. And thank you so much, Rodney, for making these awesome videos and
Appreciate
being so supportive of the community.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.